Hey guys, Donkey King here, and today we will be looking at one of the craziest $1, $2 ignition zoom sessions. Top pair on 236. This is a hand we want to bet a lot, and probably use like a smaller size because the big blind, this is a very good board for him, so if we bet really big, then it could be dangerous. And it seems like he acknowledges this fact and he is using an aggressive action against us, which we'll call. So I think this spot, he has a lot more bluffs than he should be having, but I'll just check this just to be safe. I think we'll call a bet on the river. So, yeah, I don't think I could raise this, so just call. Okay, hit a jack. I think I could potentially bet the turn, but it would be unfortunate if he double check raises on the turn. Yeah. And yeah, the price is pretty good on the river, even though he might, its range on the river might be very specific, in that it is always gonna be like a hand that he had, like a jack or maybe like a6, but probably not a6. So there aren't that many rec players right now, but there are still some rec players who will try to play with. So we'll call this because we're in position and we could potentially get him in. Yeah, and that's also why we called. We could hit a nut flush draw. I don't think we want to price out other flush draws, because if we raise, a small flush draw could easily fold. He's repping... So he's repping a 2-pair set, or... Oh wow. I think... Jesus. Wait a sec. What the hell? We got very lucky there. But we did have... How much... What was our odds there? Against the set, I'll look this up. Wow. We had 26%. Jeez. How does Jacks have 7%? So, the problem, so even though we only had 26%, the blick. So looking at the replay, this is actually a bit of a punt to call, and this is because if, suppose we call the pre-flop razors check jam and big blind folds, we will most of the time not have more than 50%. So we're basically at most break even with our nut flush draw. And however, we could be like doing much worse if he has a set. And the only situation where we could be ahead is if the pre-flop aggressor maniacally jams a combo draw. But this is rare. If we're in a three-way all in, then chances are someone has a set, and as we've seen, we're not we do not have 33% against a set. We only have 25%, and we probably want a little bit like less than 33 at least. And also if we're like dominating a draw and the set is in the hand, then we will still be not doing well enough. 25%, so I think this should have been a fold. But we did get very lucky. Might want to call because maybe we could get him in the pot. Well, we did hit top pair. So small blind, we're into small blind, so our range is a little stronger. So, yeah. So, realistically, in that hand, the only hands he could have that are better than ours is aces and kings, which he checked back. And we have an ace, so we block his hands that are better. I think I'd rather bet big because if we bet small, like, I don't think that's a good idea because he has a lot of ace highs that could all call, and it would be hard for us to bluff if we bet small. So we want to use a big sides there. And furthermore, betting bigger will allow a lot of hands that, like the ones we had, to deny equity. Playing with a rec player. I was considering block betting the turn, but I feel like he has a lot of aces, pairs with the ace. But apparently his range is kind of wide. He had 7, never mind. So we're in another one of these spots. Against a button caller, we check most of these flops with our entire range. Well, it's a good size by him. Actually, I feel like I feel like a smaller bet is better. And yeah, I just folded. So against that bet, I'd say raising should be less frequent. So if we want to play ace jack there, we'd have to call, and then we had to float, and then maybe like check raise bluff the turn, which is just this play is just very risky, and I don't know if it's worth it. I think we'll play a9 of spades. This could be. I'd rather play 7-8 than 8-9, but if we hit that flop, we'll play a9, or we'll play whatever spades. I don't think we raise much. I don't think we'd want to raise much here. Oh god, we're getting really lucky. He checks. So in terms of flushes, we have way more flushes, so we're gonna be betting a lot, and he could continue a lot of hands. But he does have good number of boats here. Holy shit, we hit the 6 card straight flush. So if we get check raise there, well, first of all, I don't think he'll check raise a lot of boats. Actually, because I think his plan would be to call and then raise the river. Play with the rec players. Alright, that didn't work. So this guy seems to have like a 6 or an overpair, and we have like a lot of ads. Maybe we should have checked. I was hoping this guy would fold as a button. We have 4. Not a fun fold, but yeah, I think could be drawing dead. My thinking was that the button there, the button should have folded a lot. The button like doesn't like that much. Yeah, I think may have butted that. I'm gonna call because of play with the right players and also be in position to the regular player. I think he's trying to exploit us with our bet size, because this could, oh holy shit. I mean, no point to do anything else besides calling, because he has a lot of bluffs in his range, and hopefully he doesn't have 9-jack. So at this point, I don't think he will bluff without a jack, or I don't think he'll be bluffing. Holy shit. Yeah, we got lucky again. Yeah, that was extremely fortunate that he had a ace-jack. Somehow we hit a 2-outer on the turn. My reasoning for making the call was that our bet size on the turn looked very what would you say? Looked very weak in that it looked very like a pocket fives type of hand. We're gonna check raise to deny equity here. And the rec player just stabbing a lot. Like, I don't know. He just stabbed a lot. So I think we got really lucky, but we actually haven't been playing that well, to be honest. A lot of the plays we made were hitting another straight somehow. I think we want to bet small because that's enough. So there's a fish in the big blind, so we're gonna flat. It's all expensive, but it's flat, and of course the fish folds. Gonna punish these aggressive small blinds. Gonna 3-bet ace queen off. Call a 4-bet. Gonna bet this half pot with the queen of clubs. Most of the time checking ace queen. And we get a fold. Probably just gonna check fold. So what we did there, why the reason sizing down on the river was that I didn't want to look too polarized. It'll make it seem more like I play a jack or a 10 that way, and so this will maybe make him less inclined to hero call a 5 or a 6. So my thinking was that if I block bet, it would be a little too small. He might just hero a little pair. But if I bet like a little bit, like 40% pot kind of, I'm gonna min raise this. Of course, completely brick. So rec players actually like under defend the flop C bet, I think. Some rec players. Alright, that one is a little bit aggressive. So on the other hand, if we bet big like both times, it looks a little bit suspicious. Like we're basically repping. We're way too polarized. We're basically repping 2 pair. Because we won't really do that with the jack. We won't want to do that with the jack. Potentially should have opened that to play with the rec in the big blind. This could be a fold. Ace 10 off. A little bit loose. I'm gonna check this flop. Call less than half pot. Exactly half pot. That's our plan to call. This will be bluffed a lot, unfortunately. It's actually extremely polarized. I don't think he's gonna bet a thing is calling. I think when people do that, people usually do not bet a 2 pair or a single pair that size. Usually gonna be like something to try to fold out my ace highs. Don't want to stab too much because he stabs. a very strong hand. We're gonna value bet. So it looks like he had a 6 and we got lucky again. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, he deserved it. We're playing pocket 3s that way. Yeah, so we could bet really big there because we have a lot of bluffs. And realistically, our hand is the best like most of the time. We're bluffing this. I'd prefer a little bit smaller than this size, so we could double barrel. Okay, we hit another gin card somehow. Just get called by an ace-x. So potentially you could overbet on the river there, but that would be done mostly with flush draws. Or if we want to bluff and want to get him to fold. Or not flush draws, like flushes. This hand, oh, let's check that. Now our hand's really strong. Thinking about raising to deny equity, but we could have a 10 as well. So another good reason to raise is like a play. I think we have a call. 7 is not a great card, but he's basically just saying he has a king. We can't just like allow him to rep it like that. So another reason I like to bet the raise the 10, or another potential argument to raising the 10 on the turn is raising like kind of small and then just checking the river. So that way you get the betting lead. Yeah. So in fact, the small blind flatting range actually is, I'm not that sure, but it's actually not a lot of kings in the small blind flatting range. A lot of ace-x suited, a lot of pairs where it's like less than 7 usually, and a lot of suited connectors. But the king, the hands with king, such as like king queen off, maybe it has king 10 suited, king 9 suited, which we block. But the kings it has is like often the kings would like 3-bet, like king queen off or king jack off. I guess king jack off could call it a small blind, but like compared to the rest of the range, thinking of whether to 4-bet this or just call, maybe just fold. Kind of don't remember. Let's just fold. To be fair, like I don't think folding is that bad. Like even if the right option is to call or whatever, like 4-bet, I don't think folding is that bad. We have a interesting raise size from him. I really like seeing when everyone folds, and then it's just blind versus blind with the rec player. So as we have said, the rec players do like to fold the c-bets a lot. We'll size down, and they also don't understand elasticity, which is like, or maybe they do. too many 7x. Looks like he hit the ace somehow. Probably had an ace high flush draw. Which is a little unlucky for us. So bluffing on the turn, the reason I did it is that I want him to fold his like flush draws. Like on the turn, I think he's smart enough to know that his flushes are not good anymore. So I wanted to fold out his flush draws on a turn and not allow them to bluff the river with my Jack 10. But I'm not really sure what he could have had, like A7 or something, or I don't know, like sevens maybe. Not really sure what he had there. Well, based on the river, I don't think he's bluffing ever there. He probably had an ace somehow at least. Yeah, we got wrecked by a wreck player. So I think sizing up is important there, because first, from a GTO perspective, we want to be polarized, and second, small sizes, based on his timing tells, you could tell this wreck player is kind of sticky, and we want to bluff off a sticky wreck player. We want to bet big. I'm gonna check call with king high. So this bet is never gonna get raised by an ace almost. So if he raises, we're gonna call him. Maybe we should have allowed him to bluff, but yeah, maybe. But he could have had like a hand with showdown value, like pocket eights, that wanted to deny equity from our king jack off on the flop. There's no point to factor in the rec player because he's too short. Get the ladies in the cutoff position. Aggressive ladies. Jeez. Hit top set somehow. This is a pretty wet flop. I don't know why he's tanking now. The fuck? I hope he doesn't lag the game, which happens sometimes when they tank. What's happening? Alright, given that he tanks, we have the green light. Oh, whatever. I was gonna say, like, I don't know why the rec player always folds when we wanna be in the same pod as him. So I think so in poker there's like a lot of different types of luck, and so far we've gone very lucky by so there's like post flop after getting it in, and then you know getting that EV, which we did in the nut flush hand, and there's also like the luck we had against the person of hitting your draw like during the hand with the pocket fives. We turned a boat against his top trips, and that's like another type of luck is circumstantial, like, oh, your bluff worked out because your opponent had this hand, the exact hand. We're kind of deep against him. Really don't want to fold. So calling could look like very trappy. It could also be fine with our hand, which if he jams, oh what? So we could be trapping here. Like I don't know if he would think this, but we'll call one bet. Jeez. I mean, we're only losing against one pair of aces, which is like unlikely. And I think we have to call the river jam. But the thing is, like, if he jams the river, like, I just don't think people will bluff like that. Like, we probably have the same hand. He jams the river. Wow. So we jam the river. He has a lot of ace queens. I don't think he has queen. Yeah, let's jam the river. So like, he has no flushes, actually. Boom. What do you have? Yep, that is that's fucking disgusting. Well, okay. To be fair, I don't know if you should have called the river. Like, the river is actually kind of tricky, because when we call the ace turn, essentially we are not fucking around with just calling that ace turn. Like, we usually either have an ace or maybe even a flush. So, oh my god, it's getting extremely lucky. I don't even know what to say. Bet small here. We have nuts. We're gonna try to get the money in here. If we bet 72, we could jam the river. Let's try to pretend we're gonna put him on the overpair, and let's pretend we're trying to take the pot down by force. Oh, this folds. Well, he probably had ace high then, which is okay. And if he had he definitely did not have an overpair there, because there's no way he'd fold that fast with the overpair. But if he did have an overpair, we will be going for you. We will be going for him. So the ace queen guy The ace queen guy is like I wouldn't blame him for calling the jam, but like, what are our bluffs? So what are our bluffs? If say we're a solid player, what are our bluffs? Let's say and what are our bluffs? Ace 5 with a... Would ace 5 bluff there? No, that doesn't make sense. What are our bluffs there? King queen suited. Hearts. Or no, that's not a bluff. Yeah, we don't really have any bluffs. Yeah. So if we don't have any bluffs, what are we jamming? Are we ever jamming? Are we ever jamming worse than him for value? No. So unless we're like a little bit making like an extraordinary play, I don't know, like somehow jamming jacks with the heart. I guess jacks with the heart or tens with the heart is our bluff, but pre-flop, that's not necessarily a call. And also, we could also fold down the turn as well as raise on the flop, which makes it unlikely we could have jacks with the heart. I'm gonna do a 4.5x raise here. And yeah, brick. Don't want to bet too much on this board out of position. We could float. Hit an ace on the turn like last time. Yeah, if we're this lucky, we will just like, I don't know, hit ace. So, yeah, kind of wanted to do something aggressive there, but it seems like maybe he had it. If he has it, I don't think he would do that with a 10 and call off a jam on the turn. But he might not do that with a 10. But the heart draws. Maybe we should have jammed on the turn. F, a jam on the turn. It's a play I don't usually make, but I think thinking about these kinds of plays is a good idea because you never know whether any of like these types of plays may help you at some point. So if we jam on the turn there, alright, this tanking, this is a tell that he has something, like a pair or something. Alright, we should have the green light to bluff. Gonna bet like smaller. Especially if a spade hits. Oh, he did have something, huh?